As you see, this is a quite easy technique. The only issue is that it requires some angle. Well, basically, you need to get used to the fact that you just pushing this upper card out jog towards the spectator. And the issue is that you need to wait. You cannot do it right away because you flash it like you just seen. You don't want to flash it. So what you need to do is wait until the card is towards the audience, or make sure it's about 90 degrees, the card. And you don't really want to, think about it, how far is too far. You just want to get used to it without even thinking. So I believe this is going to be the main issue, the fact that you want to wait until the right angle without flashing the card. So even though this is a straight up view, you see is still flashing, you may want to tilt yourself from the view or from the spectator. This is going to help you a little bit more. It's going to give you a little bit more time. Okay. Now, two things. One is the card. You're just pushing the card out. You also want the second card to be completely square. Not to be also halfway. When I show it to the front like that. So it also helped me for an index to push it down so I can grab it again, which is going to be easier. Now it's going to be better if I move this double a little bit under. I try not to keep it too square up. You can do it a little bit under, below the deck of cards, and do the move. Now this sometimes the card is going to be a little bit in jog from the deck, but it doesn't really matter because the upper card is actually blocking the view, and instead of pushing the card to the front, you just push the deck to the back to square it. So if it's going to end up like that, the audience is not going to notice this in-jog card, how much is from the top view. So you can just push the deck of cards with the index, and it's before you remove this card, of course, to put it in the middle. Now this technique is just going to be an extra plus, basically. It's not really a big deal. Just the fact, well, this is another issue. Even if it's just a little bit, it's still looking good, maybe you want to go for 1/3 or 1/4. You don't need to go halfway out, just like 1/3, 1/4. That's going to be okay. It's just an extra visual effect, to the double leaf routines for any double leaf, Also this, as you notice, you don't want to throw the card like that. You may end up messing up this card also, as you just watch. You need to get used to the fact that it's just going to be a little. Also, this hand, I try to follow the double a little further because you don't want to just drop it. You want to go a little bit more and help the double to go into the deck of cards. And these fingers are going to help me a little bit. You don't really have to, but it's going to give you an extra protection so it doesn't get overexposed, this card. Because the audience, they may see this card going let me give you an example. When you move it down, they still can see this card moving along with a top card. So as you see my hand, my fingers, even if there are big windows, big gaps between the fingers, you don't really have to cover too much. You don't need to be too much concerned about the upper card. Put it in the middle, and there you go. So either way, you want to do the double lift. You can just do it, just make sure the pattern, it is pretty much the same, for a before and after. Sometimes you want to do a double lift like that, and then proceed to the move, like so, and that's gonna be okay. Just keep it nice, smooth, and maybe not too fast, just slow, With the index, I'm just pushing this card out. I try not to do a lot of work with the thumb because it's gonna mess up this card, that direction, and you're gonna twist it, Also, you wanna keep it just the index finger moving so it doesn't disturb the direction of the upper card. So you can see from this view, I jog the double, bring it back a little bit further down compared to the deck of cards, wait until it's square on 90 degrees from the deck of cards, and the main thing is just this edge, you want to wait until the edge get to the orange, in front of the orange view, put it on top, and proceed. The last point I want to make is notice the difference when you are into the orange. See, this angle doesn't really help. It is also depending, how many people you have around. So instead you want to move this way 45 degrees so they can see the back of the playing cards like that. It's gonna give you a little bit more time, because since you cannot start doing this move right away, you have time to do the move, and the fingers, notice, is not covering too much, but it helps me to protect any extra moves. So this card can put it in the middle, and the card can go right on top.